Hi YouTube, how are you doing? I'm doing okay. I just got in from taking a picture of my English tea roses. I'll put it on my thumbnail on this. That's what they are. So I've had them for a few decades now, maybe close to 35 years. I've propagated them. So um yeah, somebody thought I cut my hair. No, I just had it up. Um, yeah, I'm not gonna do that, probably. I'm thinking about getting it trimmed because it gets too long to take care of, or even braid. It gets harder to braid the longer it is, too. But anyway, um, I'm gonna be talking about, oh, I don't know. First, I'm gonna share what I was talking about with a friend this morning. He spends a lot of time in the mountains and camping and alone time. Works in the city and then goes out camping like on the weekends. And well, actually now I think he did what I used to do a lot. I get sick of somewhere and I just take off by myself, or like even leaving a job with no other nothing. No, just knowing that I'm going to make it wherever I go. I do what I want to do in my life like that. So a lot of people don't feel that free, especially if you have kids. It's a little harder to do. I've been in situations where it wasn't so free like that with kids. Don't get me wrong. But yeah, okay, so this friend of mine had come into town and he went to go through a drive-through to get a cup of coffee. And the manager came. He didn't have a shirt on. I mean, he'd probably come from swimming. He was swimming up in the mountains. Come down, it's a hot day and whatever. Manager says he's in his car. The manager says he isn't going to serve him unless he's got a shirt on. Well, like the dude's not a woman. It would be a little different if, like I told him, if he was like walking down the street, or like I've had more than one guy come around me. Like my husband would go in this thing, come over to my house with no shirt on, and I'm like, get out of here, don't ever come back again, you know, trying to mess with me, you know. And I can be a bit of a prude in some ways in that respect. Somewhat. It depends. It really does how people are thinking and whether they're misplacing sexuality or what they're doing in their lives. So like I say, I can be somewhat of a prude like that. Depends. Depends on what people are meaning to do in their lives and how they look at each other, you know? But so I shared a couple songs for them. Um, Sex and Candy by Marcy Playground and Rod Stewart's Do You Think I'm Sexy? So for the ones that look in my community, um, it was part of the joke. Like I told him, I said, like if you were walking down the street or, intentionally trying to bother somebody, another friend of his said, just next time wear a t-shirt and every time you go through there, just take about an inch of it off every time before you go in there. And then pretty soon when you have hardly anything left, see what he's going to say. Because this guy's reasoning, the manager's reasoning for my friend not being able to get a cup of coffee was because of the teenage girls that, or the girls that worked there. And I told him, I said, oh, geez, well, when I was 15, one of my greatest memories was of this. God, he was so cute. He was this guy, this roofer. And I'm not going to stress to remember his name, but, or I might even been a little bit younger, but this guy on that roof was so cute. and he didn't have a shirt on, you know. I'd walk by there just to see him. And I wasn't like, it wasn't even like a lustful thing. I was just hoping I could meet him. Maybe we could date, but I wasn't like, I wasn't foaming at the mouth or nothing like that. Do you see what I was actually looking more for uh, a forever relationship in my life. So, and this guy was so cute. But so I told him that. I said, well, was one of my greatest memories when I was a teen, you know. But yeah, I said, or he liked you too much, you know. And my friend wrote back, nailed it, you know. It was either jealousy or yeah. There's no reason for it. Dude's in his car. Got a beef with your girlfriend or somebody working there, seeing what, somebody's doing in their car. Well, hand them the coffee yourself. That's not a great big deal. They didn't have a sign on there. That's when you go in an establishment. That's a part of the health board's codes. That's our laws. No shoes, no shirt, no service in any establishment where they serve food in any, not outside of it. So yeah, the dude was totally out of line. So yeah, so I thought it was pretty funny. Oh, I wish you could smell them roses. They are like the best smelling rose, the most fragrant one that there is. Oh, that's so nice. In my backyard, I have lilacs. Front yard, I have my roses. I have daisies, Indian paintbrush, violets. My tiger lilies will be coming into bloom. I showed you my flowering crabapple tree. It's an apple tree. It already is done with its blooms. The same with my French lilac. That's done blooming. And I have lily of the valleys. They're done blooming, and quite a few other um, flowers around. It's tons of flowers around here that I put there. Yeah, there's a few wildflowers, but species around. And a lot of what I planted were native to this area where I live. So, yeah. So I just want to tell people that's why I played those songs. I could have went and got another one that I like, um, referring to. It's more got sexual connotations in it. Is Savage Gardens, Chickadee Cola. I love it. It's a good song. It's just like a lot of people don't know, like Sex and Candy is actually talking about like somebody coming in and horning in on what he's got. He's like, who's that sitting in my chair giving me devious stares? I love that song. Good one. I think I got that CD, maybe, or I used to. Perhaps I might. It's been a while since I've even played. You know, I just play most of my music on YouTube, you know. So with my Roku TV and my sound bar and my bass, it sounds great. So no need for anything else really. Or heart radio, or I can play a lot of music, different music, just through my TV. That's why I like that. So, oh, yeah, I wish the whole world could just smell my roses and maybe they'd just like, okay, let's stop fighting and just plant roses. Did you know, like, rose hips tea is really good for you? And I don't know if you've ever had rose hip jam, jelly. Oh, so good. Really good stuff. So, my cat, one cat, Bob, Doug's cat actually, um, I bring him in and he smells them and eats them. The other cat, not so much, but he grew up around a rabbit, and so his taste buds and senses, he even wiggles his nose like a bunny. Yeah, he's a little different. He grew up with a bunny, so he's weird. I'll show you sometime. I actually do have a waist, but I do get a little shy. I'm not really out to, like, show people myself or nothing, but one of these days I am. I'm probably get up and do like maybe like a warrior pose or something, like on one leg. One of my balancing acts, I'm kind of good for showing people um the that. I might one of these days, show you like I'm a strong old bat. I have this one thing over on Doug's Patriots Unite group over on Facebook, and if he was close enough, and I found out no, he's not, but if he was, that's somebody I would really like to spar with. Oh, in a big way. Like, I can't even explain the urge I have in that area right now today towards that person. If you're watching me, Paul, you're really a little creep. You need somebody to jack your shit, 'cause you wouldn't be calling me stupid if you were standing in front of me. I know you wouldn't. Or if you did, I'd be happy you did. Mm, God help me. Whew. No, God help him. He's a little bitch. Everything I write about something to defend the Native Americans or whatever, this little horse's ass has always got something derogatory to say about it, and then he's a Trump defender. He lives in another country and he's defending his Jewish buddy. It's like, okay, whatever. I said it. I said what I said. My dad called himself the Minneapolis Jew and he was a 33rd degree Mason with Jesuit and Shriners rights, and high uh um what is there one other one that he was Scottish Rite, um, which involves something rather nasty that induced a lot of almost hatred in me for a long time. Getting back to the point, you always have to have one Jewish master over the slave goyim that are the Freemasons, and even in it was I think 14 20 or 60, somewhere a long time ago, when the Masonic Lodge branched and became the Freemasons over here in the United States. Even in England, there was the last lodge over there that was supposed to even advance anywhere else in the world. It kind of originated in China and went up into like Norway and England, and these people were not supposed to branch off and bring their crafts into the new world. They weren't approved by the original Masons to do that. They do not share their knowledge with people like the first keepers of that truth were supposed to do. And now they're all like a bunch of rogue wishy-washy, not knowing what they're doing, slaves for the dark cabal Jews. It's a fact. So anyway, so these little bitches that I know are masonically inclined try to F with me. Listen, little boy, I could back down a master mason when I was a baby, not 'cause I was cute, because of my brain. So yeah, you really need to sit down and go yourself, 'cause I know nobody else is going to, ugly man. Sorry, people. Sorry. Okay, maybe I shouldn't have made a video today. Nah, nah. I think it's better that I say what's on my mind. I hope some of you can laugh or just at least sharing a good day. Excuse me. It is a beautiful day here, just perfect weather. It says 74 out there, and that we are rainy day ahead. It says they said an inch of rain. I don't know. Skies are perfectly clear, so I'm not sure. In fact, I did even have a hard time getting an angle. I went out, oh, probably was about noon when I took the pictures of those flowers. I couldn't fit them in. They're in the whole screen. I couldn't back up. I couldn't get the shot. They're much taller. They're almost 5 foot tall, them bushes, at least. Maybe about as tall as me. I'm 5'9 1/4", so they might be. They're huge rose bushes. And there's more than that. I can only show you a little, what is it called? Like splotch of them, a little area. Anyway. Yeah, I often don't even reply to this person that ignited some anger in me. But this is the second time this little freak called me stupid. I'm far from stupid, y'all know that. But, to just let it go all the time when I'm talking to other people, I'm sharing information that other people might want to see. Things like handcuffs that were used on tiny children when they were taken away from their parents and put into boarding schools. And being somebody that's been sold twice, um, I know firsthand when you're not around people that care about you to take care of you, things happen. See, now there's a good topic too for today. Um, Growing from our trauma or using it to hurt other people, you know. If, like I've said, if we're going to weigh who has the most amount of pain, and if we base what we do to another person on that amount of pain, does that mean that I could go up to a rabbi and slaughter it because they're the organization that backs all the darkness that's perpetrated against other people? Anyway, yeah, I just said that too. There I go. When you're part of affiliated groups that pay dues to hurt other people so you can live rich, yeah, I got a problem with you. Doesn't make me anti anything. It makes you anti human being, and me fucking hate you for it. Yes, I just said it. If I can hate my own dad, I can surely hate somebody else acting the same way. Like, I've told, and some of you don't know, I had an opportunity before I moved in here. They wanted to buy me an island because they know I love water. What a better way to try and bribe somebody with something that they love, right? I walked away from my inheritance and all that bullshit. And that's because of my integrity. So, if somebody can afford to buy somebody an island with 5 buildings on it, you know, that I would have been just fine if I had stuck around with all that shit and became a member of the Eastern Star or whatever. But I didn't. I didn't sell out humanity like these bastards that I am always yelling at. Or the baby Masons out here that have parents that were Masons and get like good channels, good educations, all this stuff based on who they know. I'm not saying all of you because I know some of you work really hard to have the channels and especially if you're an educator, you know. So, so yeah, I'm not talking to the people that are like into psychology and education and that type of thing. Yeah, I'm not talking or reporting the news. I mean, whether or not you actually think it's real and you're like there's a difference between getting people to prepare for something that might be coming up and and causing fear. Now, I'm not telling you to fear unless you actually should. Then I'm telling you probably have a reason to have a lot of fear. But the ones that really should have more fear don't. Uh, Yeah, because nothing's happened to them yet, you know. I'm gonna take a hit of my smoke. If some of you don't smoke herb, um, look away, or if you have it, smoke it with me. Cheers. I got my little pan I keep my herb in, and little poker in there, and I got this from my oldest son, my little bunny. It's a smokeless one. Cheers, everybody. Yeah, I usually don't smoke till afternoon. Sometimes I did last week. I think I did once about 11 o'clock. But I usually wait. I get a lot of things done in the morning and then just kick back in the afternoon, So I got 2 different kinds. This is I can work on this type of stuff. Whatever I need to get done. Then I have some other stuff. This is let's see, indica. And I've got sativa. That's my um nighttime herb. That's like I'm ready to like kick back type of herb. I got these. I don't really like them or use them that much, but hemp gummies. I didn't get them. Doug got me them. I've taken a couple, like if I have like some of my aches and pains are aching and paining extra bad, I've taken them a couple times. So, and they have sugar in them, and so I'm like, I've been staying away from sugar pretty successfully just a couple times in the last few months. Like I've treated myself, but not not a lot. And I went like 2 decades, you know, doing just like that. Every once in a while, I'd have something that had sugar in it, but not very often, you know. I feel better too when I don't have it. So I'm gonna, when I get this uploaded later on here, I'm going to make I made a salad last night with some chicken nuggets, and tonight I'm going to make a homemade pepperoni pizza, extra cheese. So, yeah, that's what's on the menu around here. No sugar though, you know. I don't know if you can hear this dinging. Maybe you can, maybe you can't, Doug. I don't think you can, but I can hear it. I'm making this video, and I told Doug, I said, "You want to come in and talk to YouTube?" He said he didn't have anything to say to YouTube, but he was telling me about his political viewpoints on some things, and I'm like, I don't want to hear it. Because, yeah, we can talk on the same level about the same things and hold totally different viewpoints, so sometimes it's not a nice conversation, so I just shut it down. And now I hear this dinging in my message from Facebook, and it's him sending me stuff. Could be something funny, like, oh, he sent me, I haven't watched it, but I guess there's a kitty video with cat driving a hot rod, a rat rod, so, yeah. I don't know. I might watch it. I don't know. Oh, I got an itchy nose. I think it is my allergies. But so yeah, I just want to speak a little bit on that. To wear a shirt or not to wear a shirt. If you're not out there trying to entice people, and you're just doing your own thing. I mean, going through a drive-through, really, give me a break. You know, be like if I was coming home from the beach and had my um like jean shorts on I used to wear with my swimsuit underneath. Big deal. And I'd be in my car. Like, what? Give me a break. Or throw a t-shirt over it, usually. Unless I was trying to get my suntan, but that's ridiculous. you know. Anyway, so I wanted to talk about that, and then I wanted to talk a little bit about the Masons and how strongly I feel against their organizations and their affiliated ones with all the churches and the rest of them that work as a organization. Just like, see, this person that called me stupid lives in another country and supports Trump while we're a corporation of people that don't get the dividends from the corporate actions that they take financially. They put it back into the system. They live high off the hog because they think that they're more educated and in a higher position and more worthy of telling you or I what to do, and I don't fucking like it. I'm never going to, you know. I say localized government so you can look these people in their eye when they're trying to jack you around and make contracts from state to state for our goods with a trading system. And the District of Columbia and every little bitch in there can take a hike. Get out of here. We don't need you. So, anyway, I know it sounds like it wouldn't work, but yeah, it would. The only thing is, yeah, there's people that live in like poor states that wouldn't have as much revenue as other states would have. That would be maybe a problem for some people, you know. There's workarounds with that too. If people want to be humanitarians and be actually real about things, nobody would have to ever go hungry, you know. There's ways to work around that too. So, well, I'm going to get this uploaded. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. I'll talk to you soon. Peace and love from Pine City, Minnesota, USA.